hills and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's bit in his eye. Oh, well, he gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I dry my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone.
Hello everybody, welcome to Shortbangers. I'm Matty, joined tonight by Colin and John as always, and we've also got a special guest on, comedian Mark Nelson. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm not bad, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks very much for giving up a wee bit of your time tonight to join us.
Man, I'm looking forward to it.
And always when we get people on, they ask if they know what they've let themselves in for, so I'm hoping you've not listened to too much of what we've done, and then
a wee bit.
That's a nice surprise for you. John, how are you doing?
Aye, I'm alright. You're saying that joined by Colin and John as always, but I've been a bit part guest recently. So
I didn't think anybody was going to pick me up for it, but just you bash on it.
I like to keep honest.
Aye, how are you anyway? It was life treating you, John, since we've not seen you for months on end.
Not bad. Bairn's getting a wee bit better. Found out that she's got a wee bit of ear infection, so she's on that banana penicillin stuff, so she'll be right as rain in no time.
Have you considered giving her away?
Yes.
That's kind of it, because that's when they get the most annoying, isn't it, when they get ill? So my mind reminds me when they were wee, and I always thought, it'd be easier without them. But they get over it, and then you're left for them anyway. Colin, how are you doing?
I'm alright. Straight for work, obviously. Still on
bullshit. You dressed up for Mark coming on.
He texted me beforehand a few pictures. He's like, whoa, will I go with the dark jumper or the light jumper?
And that's what you chose, Colin?
No, fucking schoolboy stuff.
Right, I'll pop 25 minutes on the clock and we'll just dive right into the questions. So first question of the night comes to TG Willis. He said, what's more frustrating, Willy Willy or etchasketch?
What's a Willy Willy?
What's Willy Willy?
Well, at first I thought it might be a medical condition, right? But he's sent on so this is like a wee trope of the show as well, Mark, right? Is I will try to show my phone to the screen, but when you do it on Zoom, it's fucking hopeless. So do you know what it's got? The iron filings at the bottom, and you get a wee plastic pen. It's like magnetic. So there's a face, and you have to pull the iron filings up onto the face to make like a wee beard. And obviously, he's kind of etch-a-sketch, I need to explain that.
No, can you get that up on screen as well?
Here it comes.
that really, I've googled it myself. I do kind of.
I remember it now.
My kids have never had that.
That's good. The poshest.
Is it not the kind of thing that you used to get in the shops next to like I'm going to say the seaside, like the beach, like you get like your bucket and spade in that?
It would be like free on a comic or something like that, but it would be in the magazine section.
Aye.
You ever had a Willy Willy?
I think I've ever seen that before.
Well, you
never been to the beach?
Where are you based about, Mark?
I can't afford to shop in these shops beside the beach.
Etch-a-sketches were always promised to be more fun than they actually are. I always found them pretty frustrating.
Aye.
What was the point in them, really? Like, I know that you could draw with them, but was it just basically you can be shit and erase it as much as you want until you get good?
Aye.
And even when it's good, it's still pretty shit.
I think
in a one piece though, you couldn't.
You couldn't do curves.
No.
The picture of the etch-a-sketch that they've attached to the tweet, from a distance it looks like it might have been Delia Smith, but I think it might be Jill Dando. Like, obviously pre-shooting. So
right.
All right, okay, if we'll go to the next question then.
It's a talented artist that does a Jill Dando and an etch-a-sketch.
I don't know.
Maybe that was like one of those crime scene artists.
There was a joke about ashes and the wee iron filings and the Willy Willy one that I was going to make there, but I think we'll just we'll leave that where it is.
Do you think you can do a chalk outline in an etch-a-sketch?
You probably could.
Maybe that's why the guy was never found. He was asked to give it The witness was asked to give a description of the killer, but they only had an etch-a-sketch there, so they were just looking for a guy with a square head.
You go get his fingerprints, but they're going to make the wee hand shape on it first. The full fits that they do, the police and that, whoever does that job must have apart from the court illustrator, Colin, that we talked about last week, the identikit or identify folk to draw the pictures, because they never look like fucking people at all. That's somebody that's not done art at school that has that job.
Do you think they're like, can the court drawers, they're all shite at drawing? Do you think the police drawers are like one step up for that, though?
Aye.
Or one step
better.
down.
No, but they're better than the court. The court folk are terrible, aren't they?
Because they have to use chalk.
Aye, but I'm sure there's something. There's this weird bell ringing in the back of my head that says that they have to be not deliberately shite, but just they can't have it look like the person. It's just like they're meant to be a representation, so it's kind of like almost abstract. I need to find it.
Because apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently, they're not allowed to draw in the court, like while the trial's going on. They need to do it afterwards. So it's all. So you can understand that for like somebody, but like the Wayne Rooney one, there was a couple of weeks ago, and the kind of defence for how shite it was because they've got to draw it from memory. But then you go, everyone knows what fucking Wayne Rooney looks like. It's not like, can he?
You just Google him when they come out the court, eh? Right, next question is for Hibs Alan, who said tomato for a head or cucumbers for fingers. What would you rather have?
I know what my wife would say.
John?
Probably tomato for a head. Like, would you still have eyes and a mouth and ears?
Aye, but they'd be drawn on with a Sharpie.
I actually, you say that, but there was a boy that came back to work one day. He was going through this, I think he was going to like Scottish Slimmers or something. He was trying to shift a bit of timber. And one of the things that he would often do, there was a Sainsbury's Express on St Andrew Square, so he'd pop in there and get his lunch, and he'd quite often come back to the office with wee punnets of cherry tomatoes. And he's nipped away to the toilet one day and left this punnet of cherry tomatoes beside me. I've got a marker, and I've drawn smiley faces on every single one of them, but turned them face down. So that when he's picked up, he's like, "The fuck is that?" He went absolutely fucking daft at me. It seemed really like his reaction was really disproportionate to what I'd done, and I couldn't understand it.
Did he chuck them in the bin or did he eat them?
Do you know? I can't remember. I was maybe too busy laughing at him.
You still just eat them, eh?
What were you calling?
I'm just thinking the cucumber fingers, they're not going to be much use to you, are they? Like, in terms of, apart from what Mark's talking about, but they
even in this single use, Sunday, because your hand's just a mushy mess afterwards. No offence to your wife, Mark.
See, the thing is, as well, like, I'm guessing that whichever you choose, there's like a limited shelf life, like any vegetable.
Aye, both goes off quicker.
Aye, so like if you're, aye, but if the tomato was to go off, like eventually it's going to like decompose. Like you've not got a head left. But at least with fingers, if you've got cucumber fingers, you've still got a head. Just got no fingers.
Just got stumps.
What was by Alan McLaren that played for Rangers? He had a tomato head, and he lived for at least of a life. I think, innit?
Aye.
So can't be that bad. Right, Random Dribble said, would you rather be a unicorn that poops out humans or a human that poops out unicorns?
Christ's sake.
You want to go first for this one, Mark?
Like, let me think, right. I mean, you got it. Poop. Well, it depends, because, you know, like, sometimes... No, because a jaggy shite is a horrible thing. So, surely every unicorn that you would crap out is going to be a jaggy. But then if it came out just smooth it like that. That might help it come out. I'm gonna go the human with a shite in a unicorn. Be some party trick as well.
I think the thing as well is like any time that a unicorn is like introduced to any set, it comes with like that sort of like glitter and the wee sort of soundtrack behind it, almost like fairy dust.
The worst fucking kids party ever. Just the unicorn man. Oh, he'll be good.
Right, TG West said, as from September this year, all new vehicles will have a Union Jack on the registration plates. True or false? I think if that's true.
That must be true, and he's wanting us to have a moan about it, is he? Is that the...
He has got a wee angry face at the end of that question.
I can't see that.
What do they have there now?
They can. I never paid attention to it. I don't even think I would notice if I bought a new car and it had it on it. I wouldn't go and check.
Plate?
Aye.
I think I've got anything on it other than the sort of where I got it for. Like, you know, they stamp it with the brand, the name of the firm. Or,
Aye. Just have a guess at it then. True or false?
Aye, true.
John?
I'm gonna say.
It's going to be true.
I'm
Just
gonna say
the-
false.
False.
The British government have got a hard on for sticking that flag on absolutely everything.
But the
Aye.
trouble it would cause, man. Like, I mean, honestly, like, because I used to live near Parkhead. And if you turned up, if you were the first guy that got a new car and it's got a Union Jack on it, like it's fucking, it's lasting an hour at best. Like,
There's you could get in early and have like an unbranded registration plate shop there, eh? In those areas for folk to swap them out as soon as they get their new car. You'd clean up.
aye.
Oh, here, that's maybe a wee sideline for us. We can get Longbanger stickers that we can just put over the top of them.
Aye, replace your Union Jack with a wee Longbangers badge.
Aye. Stick that in the merchandise store. Aye.
Okay, right, Ian.
You don't get to find out if it's true or false or not.
This again. We kind of position this. Nobody gives us answers to the questions unless we go back and ask them. It's like a QI for idiots, is how we normally position it. With the least informative fucking quiz going.
That must be why he's asked it, because he's raging about it. I must have it.
But it'd be no bad room at the start, though, because it's believable. It's like if you tell folk that.
It's like they can't see Baba Black Sheep in school anymore and all that kind of
Aye,
stuff.
or Ralph Macchio was older than Mr. Miyagi when they filmed The Karate Kid.
They're going to stick the Union flag on blackboards.
Right, Ian asks all of the bangers to suggest which Viz character they are and they're most like them and why. So, if you remember your Viz characters, who would you most be like?
I'm not sure if this is politically correct. I'm not even sure if they're still characters, but they were characters. So I'd obviously be given my curvy stature. I'd have to be one of the fat slags.
I think they're still in it.
What are they called now? Two
Fat slags, I think,
promiscuous
still.
ladies.
Thin
Viz-
slags have lost weight.
The Viz was never worried about being PC, was it? So
Two sexually empowered ladies.
you're fucking ruining this, Sean. You can't. The Viz will still be the fat slags, right?
Is Viz still gone? Is
Yeah.
I still going, aye.
I remember when I worked at Sky, there was a boy in my team who was maybe 19 or 20, and he'd never read it. I was like, how could you put through fucking school and no read the Viz? And I went and got him one because it's like a rite of passage. You kind of had to read the Viz. Like my mum and dad used to get me the annuals for Christmas.
Aye, so did I.
Aye.
I know Simon Donald quite well. He's one of the guys that started it up.
Yeah,
Superb.
He used to do stand up. He doesn't do as much anymore. Then and if you ever gigged with him, you could get him to draw one of the characters. So I got him to draw like Roger Melly for one of my pals. And it's fucking unbelievable how quickly he just like rattles them off like that. It's amazing, man.
yeah. He's
Brilliant.
a good character, Roger Melly.
Roger Mary, aye.
I need to understand, Matty, how your mum and dad wouldn't let you watch Die Hard in the house, but they were buying you Viz.
No, so this bit doesn't make fucking sense what my mum and dad would do, right? So the A team No, right, so they were pacifists back. We've had this conversation before. The A team, Dukes of Hazzard, stuff like that, where violence solved the issue, was out. Like, they were going, that shite, turn that off. Even like the fucking wrestling, they wouldn't let me watch. I had to go to my pals, like sneak out, go and watch all these shows at my pals on a Saturday evening. But Die Hard, we were like Terminator, Die Hard, like fucking. My mum and I like watched like Poltergeist and Salem's Lot and like these mad horror films when I was fucking wee. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. I think maybe they were just being fucking arse. Maybe they just wanted to watch something else on another channel.
They let you watch Die Hard, but they wouldn't let you watch A Team. And is it because John McClane didn't start it? Is that the justification?
He was just saving everybody. I don't know.
Just in the wrong place at the right time.
I don't know. It's maybe just they kind of pretended it was pacifism, but they just had to set the bar a bit higher. They wanted it to be good quality violence if it was going to.
Aye, maybe they thought it was just too tame.
Aye, nobody's actually getting killed here.
I get that.
That's what my old man used to say that.
Get that strike off. I'll show you. I can hear Robocop. Whack that on.
Robocop was one they let me watch.
Aye, but I'm sensing a pattern here because Officer Murphy, he didn't start it either. He just went in and sorted out when he got chilled up. No, that's a fair point.
They never shot anybody either. They just sort of shot.
Didn't they? No, nobody died in the A-Team.
Yeah. And they were on the side of the underdog as well. If anything, you should be rooting for the A-Team. They should have been aspirational characters rather than ones that your old man was coming and going, turn that shite off, and then kicking you to your seat.
That's what he was actually saying.
Aye.
That's why he was, you know, fucking watching that shite. Well, it must have been Noel's house party or something on at the same time.
Something else, aye.
But
what if it was that the A-Team broke out of prison rather than going through due process, like going for a retrial?
Well, no, that doesn't stand up because it was the same with the Dukes of Hazzard and that. Although I was allowed Dukes of Hazzard toys, wasn't allowed A-Team toys.
Your mum or your dad must have fancied Daisy Duke.
In fact, now I think about it, none of it fucking makes sense because I was allowed He-Man toys and that was all fucking fights. They made me figures that you twist around, right? Pop round.
You need to take this up with them.
What the
fuck was going on?
I'll have forgotten by the time we finish this, but if I remember, I'm having words with him. In fact, if they listen, sometimes they listen, Dad, you remind me to pick this up with you next time I see you. We'll be having words.
I'd love it if your dad was sitting at home just watching the A-Team and Dukes of Hazzard on repeat now. Fucking idiot.
Just sitting there like an evil gaggle.
It's got the fucking box sets and everything.
Do you think he goes through the house before you come round, like shuffling them under the couch and under mattresses and that?
Stashing them all.
He's dressed up as Mr. T.
Right, okay, all right. What's the next question? What's the better invention? This is from Jake Gapper. What's the better invention? The big foam hands everyone in the audience had on Gladiators, or the baseball cap can holder?
Oh, the foam hands didn't do anything. They're not for anything, are they?
John's away.
Aye. The baseball cap can holders have got a purpose, so it's got to be that, surely.
Aye, that's got to be that.
Foam hands are just for singing. Well,
would you wear one though? One of the baseball caps? Like, is there ever a situation where you think, okay, what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my can holder baseball cap on. I'm just going to kick about with it.
What was the question? What's the better invention?
Aye, the big foam hands.
Aye. So what would you say was the purpose of the foam hands then? Was it just to be on novelty value? Aye,
there was only one big finger as well. That was the other thing. It wasn't even like you got like a full hand's worth of it. It was just.
Tell you what it could be useful for, right?
We're going back with the cucumbers again.
No. If a guy's going along with a baseball cap with the cans and he falls and spills the cans everywhere, and folk are like, for Christ's sake, somebody's going to slip on that. How can we clear this up? Somebody pops up with a phone hand and like, I'll get that.
Aye.
Right, Ian. Aye, I think it was better. Like I've seen more people with the foam hands than the baseball cap with the cans.
I've never had one of those baseball caps, and I don't know anyone that's ever drunk out of one of them either. So I wonder if they're kind of like on a parity in terms of novelty value. Like, could you imagine going to Easter Road, for example, with one of those baseball caps, like the foam finger? Like, it was like Mark was saying about the car getting torched outside Parkhead.
It's much the experience, isn't it? No, that's what this will put under.
How confused would the stewards be with that one? Because they're always determined to take stuff off you. Anyway, do you know, like if you're going in with a bottle of juice or a fucking Snickers or something like that, they're searching the bag to huckle you for it.
So you know how Police Scotland, like they didn't allow flags in certain areas of the ground because it obscures their view for like police control. Like, could you imagine the crackdown for Police Scotland on foam fingers?
So you go to get handcuffed with them.
Oh, big pair of foam handcuffs.
You get let off for a technicality because they can't secure you. Right, Ian also asks, is there a better laugh out loud comedy than Airplane and Police Squad? Best comedy film?
Aye, I can't think. The only one I'd add to that was Blazing Saddles. It's the only other comedy I'd add to the three. Aye, they're the three.
Aye. John?
Austin Powers was alright.
It's not that legal, I don't think.
Nah. I'd maybe make an argument for Spaceballs, but it's maybe no. Spaceballs is good, but it's maybe no quite as laugh out loud.
Aye.
So no, I take that back. It's Blazing Saddles, Airplane, and what was the other one? Police Squad, Naked Gun.
Naked Gun, yeah. South Park movie is another one. The first time I watched South Park was the most I'd laughed at anything in fucking years. I was steaming it and I forgot it on VHS. Came home, stuck it in the wee shitey video player and
when your dad would take an 80 of it.
Woke everybody up rolling and laughing at it.
Have you seen a film called Basketball?
Yes.
So that's the boys that done South Park, and I think it was one of the writers from Naked Gun. That's good.
Is it?
That's up there for humour. Aye.
That is very funny. Aye.
Okay, right. The next question, William said, does anyone else sick of living in a city where you can get sunburn and trench foot in the same day?
That's mad.
Which city is he talking about?
That'll be Edinburgh.
Well, he'd be Edinburgh, aye.
Aye.
But it pretty much applies to any city in Scotland, doesn't it?
Aye, that's what I was going to say. Aye.
I wonder if that was ever anything that happened during the First World War, if anyone was getting trench foot and sunburn the same day.
Sure, that's what they were worried about, John.
Aye, that was on my mind.
If you were in the
somebody coming back from war and there was folk going, sorry to hear about your whole platoon. Aye, but look, I've got a cracking pan. So. I'm just
imagining imagine SPF 50 getting dished out with the rations. Watch the bombs, watch the rays.
If you're listening and you were in the First World War, text in 80295 and let us know.
Let us know your skincare routine.
Fats Pickus asked, is there a young El Paso?
Is El Paso a person or a place?
Place in I think it's in Mexico.
It's Mexican. Yeah, well, Mexican brand, isn't it? For
El Paso. Aye, El Paso.
It's probably based on
it in
Leicester.
Texas? It might be in Texas, actually. El Paso, Texas.
Do you think that's like Edinburgh's Old Town and Newtown? Like Old El Paso is.
John, we'll have a wee look at El Paso. See if it doesn't exist as a place, and it's just
Texas.
Texas. There you go.
He's quicker on Google than I was.
Wonder if it's like York and New York, that kind of thing. There will just be a Paso somewhere that somebody's going, fuck, I can't think of an original name, we'll just call this one. There'll be a new Paso, and that's Old El Paso.
Aye.
All right, FM Edinburgh asked, what 80s song would you rather have stuck in your head? Tarzan Boy by Baltimora or Love in the First Degree by Bananarama?
I don't know the first one.
I don't know the first one either.
Right. You know it, Matty. Can you sing it for us?
No, we don't do the quest, John. You know this, but it's the one that goes, oh, 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 oh.
Oh, aye.
Aye, they carry that way. It's like somebody stuck the CD on.
Nailed it.
even Shazam's going, what the fuck was that?
I'm just surprised the dog didn't start barking. So you go with Bananarama then on the count of that's the one that you know.
I'm not even sure I know that one. Can you refresh my memory, Matty?
Here it comes again. That's why this isn't a karaoke. Right, Fast Prickus also asked, do people with friends in high places ever get fed up going up to see them? I love how much thought you're giving this. Like, both of you are looking up at. So Mark, sorry, he's treated the Mark. You treated the question with the contempt it deserved. I was like, fucking this. There's no good answer.
I'm refusing even commenting on that shite jokes.
John and Colin both look up at the sky like this, like fucking giving it the thought. Like,
I'm just wondering, like, have you ever had a mate that stayed in a flat or like at the top of a house somewhere? You went, fuck, I'm not visiting him. Like, maybe arranged to meet them somewhere else.
What episode was it we were talking about moving furniture for folk, John? Colin.
Oh, it was only a couple of weeks ago.
A couple of weeks ago, because
I think I was on that one.
Aye, my mate John had asked me to help him move into his flat, and he didn't tell me it was a top flat, and we're left.
Was it like a sort of spiral staircase?
Aye,
as well?
Spiral staircase with a sofa, a fucking washing machine. I think I've seen them since that. I think that's
the removal. He just needed you for that. That's when we got into the cost of removal men and all that. That was that one, eh?
Aye.
We've done a whole bit. We've done a whole bit on how much it costs to move house.
See where
just getting experts and professionals like what actual that is. Talking about fucking cost of that.
Have you guys moved house like once? At least once. You must have done that.
Yeah.
Aye, it's an absolute bollock. Like, have you ever thought to yourself, like, I am absolutely never moving ever again. I will die in this house. I will be taken out of this house in a box. Like, that must be how people end up dying alone in houses, because they just go, fuck it, I can't be arsed moving again. Can't be arsed going back down that spiral staircase.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Can't even go to the shops anywhere unless somebody's bringing food up to me. I've just been out my last days. Right, that's the timer up for the episode. Mark, you have one of your live shows up on YouTube. Free to view as well. So what kind of prompted you to put that up there?
I filmed it. When did I film it? Last October. Once gigs had been allowed back open again, and it was just a load of stuff. I'd done it at the Edinburgh Festival, the show, and it was just I'd never really filmed a full show before. And then I thought it's a kind of new way of folk are putting out stuff now, because you get to do pretty much what you want. So you don't have to put it through TV censors or anything like that. So I just stuck up on YouTube, and that's like, as long as I'd rather folks see it rather than didn't.
It's excellent. I would heartily recommend it to anybody. Just search Mark Nelson. It's one of the first,
Mark Nelson
first things coming up.
That'll lock him up.
It's superb. And you've got a show in the Fringe this year as well?
Show in the Fringe, aye. Well, I will have. I've not even started writing it yet, so it's accurate way that sorry?
How long does that take normally to write?
Well,
an hour show?
If you were a professional, you should have started about a year ago. But it's like a proper thing between like kind of there's a certain kind of element of wanky London comic that will start. The joke is they'll start writing a new one as soon as the old festival finishes. And we all, like normal comedians, all take the piss out of them. And then it comes to like the middle of July, and we all go, oh, for fuck's sake, I've got an hour to write in 2 weeks. So it's like, they're actually the clever ones, whereas we are the smart arses that end up panicking about it.
And what's the process for writing a stand-up? Like, do you...
all the way through the year, you'll kind of have wee notes and stuff. Like, I've got like notes on my phone whenever I think of something, and sometimes I'll try it out that weekend. But sometimes I go back to it and it'll just be random words, and there's no real point in putting it down.
Unicorn man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's gonna be a big basis of the show this year. The Unicorn man.
It's a right shite
Aye, it's just
superhero, isn't
collecting up through the year, and I do a lot of stuff about what's happening in the news as well. So there's always plenty of stuff in that. So
I definitely plenty to kind of keep you going now, with all this fucking nonsense.
Everywhere.
Aye, everywhere. But we'll wrap up there. If you're a subscriber, watch out for the second episode with Mark, which will drop shortly. If you want to subscribe and get more of this, go to longbangers.hubwave.net. It's only £3 a month. It's like not just a one-off £3. Better make that clear in case you get any fucking
But
complaints.
you need to try and sell that a bit better, Matt, rather than going £3 a month.
A month. If you forget to cancel, it's £3 if you forget to cancel. There's no free trial. But anyway, go and sign up. It's good fun. Right, we'll catch you next time.